Welcome everyone to an exciting journey into the fascinating world of rare coins, where a small piece of metal that most people pass over without a second thought can sometimes be worth an unimaginable fortune. And today we're diving deep into the story of the legendary 1969 D1 penny USA coin, a humble copper coin with a face value of just 1 cent, yet under certain rare and extraordinary conditions, it can reach an astonishing value of $786,000 or even more, making it one of the most sought-after treasures among collectors, historians, and coin enthusiasts around the world. And as we explore the intricate details of how such a coin can rise from being ordinary change to a numismatic jewel, we'll uncover the history of its minting, the specific mint mark involved, the types of minting errors that can catapult its value, the rarity of these mistakes, and the reasons collectors are willing to pay astronomical prices for them. Because you see, the 1969 D penny was minted at the Denver Mint in Colorado during a time when billions of pennies were being produced annually, yet in the midst of this enormous production scale, there were occasional slip-ups in the minting process, and these seemingly minor errors would later prove to be the golden ticket for anyone lucky enough to find such a coin in circulation or tucked away in an old jar of change. And one of the reasons the 1969 D penny has achieved such legendary status is due to the combination of its historical context, the specific errors it can exhibit, and the relentless pursuit by collectors to obtain the rarest and most unique examples. Because when it comes to coin collecting, rarity is king, and an error coin from a year like 1969 carries not only its intrinsic metal value but also the story of a minting mishap frozen in time. And among the most talked about errors for this coin are doubling errors, where certain parts of the design such as the date, lettering, or even the portrait of Abraham Lincoln appear doubled under magnification, result of the die striking process being misaligned or the hub impressions being applied incorrectly during the creation of the dies. And while double die errors are not unique to the 1969 D penny, certain varieties are extremely scarce and command premium prices, especially when the doubling is bold, clear, and visible to the naked eye without magnification. And then there are off-center strikes, where the design of the coin is visibly shifted away from its intended position, leaving part of the blank planchet exposed. And the more dramatic the off-center strike, the higher the value, though such dramatic misstrikes are naturally rarer to find in a year where billions of coins were perfectly struck. And in addition to these, we must talk about wrong planchet errors, where the penny might be struck on a metal blank intended for another denomination, which could result in a coin that is lighter, heavier, or with an unexpected color and texture. And when authenticated, such an oddity from 1969 D can sell for staggering sums. And another crucial factor in the high valuation is the mint mark itself, the letter D, which stands for Denver, because certain varieties of the 1969 D penny are known for having repunched mint marks, where the letter D appears to have been struck more than once in slightly different positions, creating a shadow or doubled effect that collectors find incredibly desirable. And sometimes the mint mark may be misplaced entirely, adding to the uniqueness. And when you pair such a repunched or misplaced mint mark with a doubling error on the date or lettering, you have a combination that can skyrocket in value well beyond the already remarkable figure of $786,000. But of course, such coins are exceedingly rare and require expert authentication by professional grading services, because for every genuine high-value error coin, there are countless altered or counterfeit examples circulating among the unwary. And this is why serious collectors rely on certification from reputable organizations to ensure the authenticity, grade, and market value of their coins. And speaking of grade, the condition of the coin plays a massive role in determining its final price, with mint state examples that have never been in circulation fetching the highest amounts, as they retain their original luster, sharp details, and minimal marks or scratches. Whereas circulated coins, though still valuable if they contain significant errors, may not reach the same dizzying heights. And beyond the technicalities, the sheer mystique of the 1969 D penny adds to its allure, because it's not just about metal and mint marks, it's about the thrill of the hunt, the dream of stumbling across a once-in-a-lifetime find in your spare change, the excitement of knowing that a coin you've held in your hand could be worth more than most people's homes. And stories abound of lucky individuals who discovered such treasures purely by chance, selling them for life-changing sums and inspiring others to start checking their coins more carefully. And this creates a ripple effect in the numismatic community, driving up demand and pushing prices even higher as collectors and investors alike compete for the best examples. And when you factor in the historical backdrop of 1969, A year marked by major events in American history, from the moon landing to shifting cultural tides. Owning a coin from that era with a unique era feels like owning a tangible slice of history, and so the 1969 D penny is not merely currency, it's a blend of art, craftsmanship, history, and serendipity, encapsulated in a tiny copper disc that continues to captivate imaginations. And whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, the lesson here is to always keep your eyes open, because that unassuming penny in your pocket could turn out to be a treasure worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, provided it has the right combination of era, rarity, and condition. And so, as we close this deep dive into the world of the 1969 D penny, remember that the next time you see that familiar profile of Lincoln and the tiny D under the date, take a moment to really look, because you never know if you're holding a small fortune in the palm of your hand. Where an ordinary-looking piece of change can turn out to be worth a fortune. And today we're going to dive deep into the story of the 1971 D1 penny USA coin that has astonished collectors and experts alike with its staggering value of around $0.6 million, a number so extraordinary when compared to its humble face value of just 1 cent that it almost feels unreal, yet it's true. And it all comes down to a remarkable combination of minting errors, mistakes, and unique characteristics that make this coin a standout in the realm of numismatics. So as you sit back and imagine holding a small copper coin in your hand, consider the incredible possibilities and how such an object, produced in the millions, can somehow emerge as a rare treasure thanks to circumstances that most people never even notice. For in 1971 the Denver Mint produced huge quantities of Lincoln cents, each carrying the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But during that production, a few rare examples slipped through the quality control net, bearing anomalies that would, decades later, capture the attention of dedicated coin hunters, collectors, and auction houses. And these anomalies come in many forms. Some are dramatic and easily visible to the naked eye, such as off-center strikes, double dies, or misaligned dies, while others are subtle and require magnification, such as tiny die cracks, variations in the mint mark, or differences in the metal composition. And one of the most captivating aspects of the 1971 D penny is the potential mint mark error, for the letter D, indicating the Denver Mint, may appear slightly misplaced, doubled, or even in an unusual font shape compared to standard examples, which suggests that during the die preparation stage, the mint mark punch either shifted or struck more than once, creating a tiny but distinctive marker that sets the coin apart. And when combined with other possible features such as doubling on the date or letters of liberty and in God we trust, the coin becomes a rare numismatic gem, as collectors prize coins with multiple errors far more than those with a single flaw. But what's truly intriguing is how these coins can remain unnoticed for decades, sitting in jars, drawers, or change purses until someone with a keen eye spots the irregularity, and then the discovery sets off a chain reaction, bringing the coin into the spotlight and sparking bidding wars at auctions where rarity and condition dictate value, and the condition, or grade, of the coin plays a massive role here. While even a worn example of an error coin can fetch impressive sums, a mint state or uncirculated specimen with a strong strike and original luster can command astronomical prices, and that's exactly what drives the immense valuation of certain 1971 D pennies, as these pieces often surface in pristine condition thanks to being set aside unintentionally or preserved in coin collections long before their rarity was widely recognized. And when word spreads among the numismatic community about a particular variety, such as a doubled die obverse or a rare misplaced mint mark, demand skyrockets, and with demand comes higher and higher prices, sometimes climbing to hundreds of thousands of dollars, as is the case with the most exceptional specimens that have sold or been appraised at around $600,000. And think about that for a moment, a penny, a single cent, intended for everyday transactions, carrying the power to change someone's life financially. And this isn't just about luck, it's about knowledge, patience, and attention to detail, because for every rare error coin there are countless ordinary ones, and only those who know what to look for will reap the benefits. So if you come across a 1971 D penny, examine it closely under good lighting and possibly a magnifying glass, check the mint mark for any doubling, unusual placement, or strange shapes, inspect the date and lettering for signs of doubling or distortion, look for die cracks or cuts where parts of the design seem to bulge or be missing, and consider the coin's overall condition, as all these factors contribute to its value. And remember that certain varieties are officially catalogued and recognized by major coin grading services, which can authenticate and grade your coin, giving it credibility and boosting its market appeal. But beyond the technical details, there's a human fascination with the idea that mistakes can lead to greatness, that imperfection can create beauty and value, and in the case of the 1971 D penny, those imperfections are the very essence of its worth, making it a tangible reminder that even the smallest things can hold immense potential. So the next time you're handed change, don't dismiss those pennies as mere pocket filler, for hidden among them could be a treasure that connects you to a piece of history, to the craftsmanship and occasional mishaps of the U.S. Mint, and to the thrill of discovery that has driven collectors for generations. And as we explore the nuances of minting eras, we see how each stage of coin production, from design to die creation, planchette preparation to striking, presents opportunities for variations to occur, and while the mint works tirelessly to maintain uniformity, the human and mechanical elements involved make absolute perfection impossible, which is why rare errors continue to emerge and captivate those who understand their significance. So the story of the 1971 D penny is more than just a tale of copper and cents. It's a testament to the power of rarity, the intrigue of imperfection, and the enduring value that can hide in plain sight. And whether you're a seasoned collector or someone just starting to pay attention to their pocket change, let this serve as both inspiration and motivation, because the next great find could be just one coin away, sitting quietly in your palm, waiting for you to recognize its hidden worth and unlock the extraordinary journey from a single cent to a life-changing sum of $600,000. Experts and coin enthusiasts around the world for being worth a staggering $0.21 million, an astronomical jump from its humble face value of just 1 cent, all because of its rare errors, striking mistakes, and unique mint mark anomalies that have transformed it from an ordinary coin you might find in spare change into a numismatic treasure that could change someone's life forever. And as we journey through this captivating tale, you'll discover the layers of history, minting processes, error types, and the fascinating world of coin grading and rarity evaluation that all come together to explain how such an incredible valuation is even possible, starting with the fact that the 1977 D penny was struck at the Denver Mint, a facility known for producing billions of coins every year, and yet within that sea of production, a few anomalies slipped through the cracks due to mechanical glitches, human oversight, and the occasional quirks of metal planchette preparation, leading to examples of the coin that possess traits so unusual they are virtually one of a kind, with some featuring double die obverse errors where the lettering and date appear shadowed or duplicated under magnification, a result of die misalignment during the hubbing process, while others show dramatic off-center strikes where part of the design is missing or skewed, revealing the blank copper surface in striking contrast to the stamped imagery. And there are even examples bearing clipped planches, where a curved section of the coin's edge is missing due to the metal strip being improperly fed into the blanking press, adding to its scarcity and intrigue. But perhaps the most famous of these high-value 1977 D errors involves the mint mark itself, where the D is either misplaced, doubled, partially struck, or even missing entirely, and in the numismatic marketplace, such mint mark oddities are prized because they point directly to specific, identifiable mechanical and procedural mishaps at the mint, allowing experts to trace them to exact production batches, and the rarity of these traits, combined with their visual distinctiveness, makes them highly sought after in auctions and private sales, often driving bidding wars among passionate collectors who understand the extraordinary combination of condition, rarity, and historical significance that underpins such valuations. And of course, the condition of the coin plays a massive role in determining its worth, with those graded at the highest levels by professional services like PCGS or NGC, meaning they are in near-perfect, mint-state condition with full luster and sharp details, fetching exponentially higher prices than their worn, circulated counterparts, and in the case of the record-breaking $0.21 million sale, the coin in question was not only an extreme rarity in terms of its error profile but also in pristine, uncirculated condition, making it a true unicorn in the coin world. And it's important to note that while many people dream of finding such a coin in their pocket change, the odds are incredibly slim, yet not impossible, because history has shown that treasures can lurk in the most unexpected places, and stories abound of lucky individuals stumbling upon valuable error coins in jars of old change, estate collections, or even in the course of everyday transactions, sparking a wave of interest and coin-checking enthusiasm across the country. And what makes the 1977 D penny even more intriguing is its place in the broader timeline of U.S. coinage, occurring during a period when copper composition was still dominant, before the switch to copper-plated zinc in 1982. giving these coins a tangible heft and rich coloration that collectors appreciate, and when paired with an eye-catching mint error, the result is an artifact that is not just a piece of currency but a tangible slice of American minting history, encapsulating both the technological precision and occasional human fallibility that make coin collecting so endlessly engaging. And for those curious about how such coins are authenticated and valued, the process involves meticulous inspection under high magnification, weight and diameter measurements, comparison against known error varieties, and sometimes even metallurgical analysis to confirm composition, all culminating in an expert consensus that validates the coin's uniqueness and sets the stage for its market journey, where dealers, auction houses, and collectors all play their part in establishing its ultimate price through supply and demand dynamics, and in this case, the scarcity of surviving specimens in comparable condition, coupled with the strong demand for dramatic mint errors, fueled the unprecedented $0.21 million valuation, cementing the 1977 D-penny's place in numismatic lore and inspiring both seasoned collectors and newcomers alike to keep searching, learning, and perhaps one day, to stumble upon a similar treasure that could turn an ordinary day into a once-in-a-lifetime payday. Where today we explore one of the most intriguing modern finds in U.S. numismatic history, the 2000 D1 penny coin, a coin with a humble face value of just 1 cent, yet one that has made headlines and captured the attention of collectors, historians, and treasure hunters alike for its staggering worth of approximately $0.87 million due to a combination of extremely rare errors, minting anomalies, and the unique circumstances that surround its production, a story that blends the precision of minting with the unpredictability of human and mechanical mistakes, creating a perfect storm that has transformed an ordinary pocket change piece into a small metal disc of immense financial and historical value. And in this journey we'll unpack every possible reason why this coin stands apart from the billions of other pennies struck in the same year, minted at the Denver Mint as denoted by its D Mint mark, a facility known for its high output and tight quality control, yet no minting process is entirely immune to the occasional slip in precision, and sometimes those slips can result in a numismatic marvel, beginning with the possibility of double die errors where the image or lettering appears doubled due to misalignment during the hubbing process, which for a 2000 D penny could make certain details like Lincoln's profile, the date, or the inscriptions like, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty," appear with noticeable and distinct doubling under magnification, a visual anomaly that even to the naked eye can add a strikingly unusual look. Then there's the potential for off-center strikes where the coin blank, known as a planchette, is not perfectly centered in the striking chamber when the dies come down, creating a final coin where parts of the design are missing or shifted significantly from their normal position, and collectors prize these both for the rarity and for the artistic, almost abstract appearance that results. Another factor could be broad strikes where the collar die, which normally holds the coin's shape during striking, fails or is absent, causing the metal to spread wider than usual and creating a coin larger than standard diameter with no raised rim. Each of these errors could in themselves add significant value, but the coin in question appears to combine multiple anomalies, possibly including wrong planchette strikes. For example, a penny design mistakenly struck on a foreign coin blank or even on a blank intended for a dime or other denomination, which would result in an incorrect weight and color, making it instantly identifiable to experts, and such wrong planchette errors are among the most coveted in modern US coinage because they represent a rare failure in the tightly controlled planchette feed systems of the mint. And then there's the intriguing question of the mint mark itself. The D on this coin could exhibit signs of a repunched mint mark, where the letter was struck more than once in slightly different positions during the minting process, an error more common in older coins but still possible in more modern times, and when such a repunched mint mark coincides with other striking errors, the rarity factor multiplies dramatically. Furthermore, there's speculation in collector circles that certain 2000 D pennies were part of experimental runs using slightly altered metal compositions, perhaps with a higher percentage of copper than the usual copper-plated zinc planchets of the era, and if the coin in question has a composition outside the norm verified by metallurgical analysis, that could be another layer of its appeal, not to mention the potential for die cracks or cuts, which occur when the die itself develops a fracture or a chunk breaks away, leaving raised metal lines or blobs on the coin's surface, small to casual observers but thrilling to error specialists who see in them a frozen moment of mint history. And if this coin exhibits multiple die cracks or a large retained cud in a visually significant area like Lincoln's face or the date, the combination of dramatic visual impact and rarity would elevate its desirability further. And let's not forget that provenance plays a major role in the valuation of rare coins, so if this penny's discovery has a compelling backstory, perhaps found in an uncirculated roll that had been sitting untouched for decades or from a collection assembled directly from bank bags during the year 2000, that history can enhance its mystique. The market for such coins is driven not only by rarity and condition but also by the buzz generated within the collector community, and a coin with the right combination of factors, especially when authenticated and graded by a top-tier service like PCGS or NGC, can achieve prices far beyond what logic might dictate for a tiny piece of copper-plated zinc. In this case, the $0.87 million figure likely reflects both the sheer uniqueness of the eras present and the competitive nature of high-end collectors willing to outbid each other for a once-in-a-lifetime acquisition. And when we break down the psychology of this, it becomes clear that coins like the 2000 penny are more than just currency. They are artifacts, physical links to a specific moment in time, shaped by the intricate mechanics of the minting process and the unpredictability of error, and they embody the human desire to own something irreplaceable, something that no other person can claim to possess in exactly the same form. Now, when considering why such a modern coin could be so valuable, we must remember that rarity is not solely the domain of ancient or centuries-old coins. Even modern issues can become legends when their production deviates from the norm in just the right way, and the Denver Mint's 2000 production year for pennies was massive, numbering in the billions. So finding one coin with a confluence of major errors is akin to finding a needle in a haystack the size of a small city, and the odds of such an error surviving the Mint's quality control, making it into circulation, being recognized by a knowledgeable person, and then preserved in pristine or near pristine condition are astronomical, which is why the numismatic world takes such finds so seriously. Another key point is the condition, because errors alone don't guarantee maximum value. Condition is everything in coin collecting, and a mint state or uncirculated grade dramatically boosts the price potential. The idea of a coin from the year 2000, still gleaming with original luster, free from significant scratches, and bearing multiple dramatic errors, is irresistible to serious collectors. It's also worth noting that the surge in interest for modern era coins over the past 2 decades has been fueled by the internet, where news of rare finds spreads rapidly through forums, social media, and auction sites, creating a feedback loop of excitement that can drive prices upward. So in the case of this 2000 penny, the 87 cents million valuation is not just about the metal or the face value, it's about the perfect combination of physical rarity, collector demand, historical curiosity, and market dynamics. And when you hold such a coin, you are holding a tiny piece of improbable history, a tangible reminder that even in an era of mass production and computer-controlled precision, the unexpected can still slip through, turning ordinary currency into extraordinary treasure. And that is why stories like this continue to inspire treasure hunters, casual coin roll searchers, and seasoned numismatists alike to keep looking, because you never know when the next life-changing discovery might be hiding in plain sight, waiting for the right pair of eyes to see its true worth and recognize that sometimes, even a penny can be worth nearly $1 million.